So hi guys, welcome to stage 24. Now this is going to be the ladder, turntable, base and electrical panel. It's only going to be the one stage in this video because I feel if I combine it with the next stage it's just going to be way too long. But I think this is quite an entertaining piece. I did have a lot of problems actually. I had parts that didn't fit and it was just again, I'm doing things that I don't feel I need to do. So let's see how I got on. So this is stage 24, so as always let's have a little look at the parts. So we should have, I do love these, I say this every video I think, but I do love the fact that you've got these little bags that are reusable and so handy. So we have got an electrical compartment, and that's a little box with a little hole on the bottom. We have got an electrical panel, which I'm guessing is going to go with the electrical compartment. I guess that's really nicely detailed, and it's lovely as it is, but isn't that just begging for a little bit of maybe just an oil wash around there just to pick out some detail? I think that'd look lovely. So we have a compartment outer door. So we've got this hinge on it, and then we've got a compartment inner door panel, and we have got the ladder turntable base. So it's a piece of plastic that does look quite metallic, and compartment door handle, that is surprisingly plastic. Come on, focus. There we go. And lastly we have the compartment floor, and that's, don't know if you can see the detail on that, that's got some lovely detail on it. So right, so the instructions begin with, and we're going to need some glue in this issue, so we need to take the compartment floor and we need to add that to the lower compartment floor in the groove. So there's a little groove in the bottom there, and that's shaped, so that's going to go in like that but with glue in it. So let's find our glue, and here we go. So they've applied on the instructions, they've applied a little bit of glue there, and I guess some there as well. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do the opposite. Because we're going to be placing this onto that, I'm going to place the glue inside the compartment, and then we can bring, there you go, just 2 tiny dabs. I don't think it's going to need any more than that. It's only 2 pieces of plastic. There we go. And I've not applied the glue all the way up to the edge so that we don't get any glue squidge, and that's gone in nice. I'm happy with that. So right, so check the compartment floor sits flush along the front edge, which I can see that it does. I could always take a sander on that if I needed to. So then we need to take the electrical panel, and note that there are 2 pins. Is that this? There's 2 pins on the reverse side that correspond with the 2 holes in there. So that is, I can guess, but let's have a look at the instructions. Push the electrical panel into place, and this is suddenly going to just make this whole thing pop, except it's not because I can't get it in. I think what I've done is there we go, that's gone in, and you can check it's in because you can see the 2 pins on the reverse side. So that is nice. Very happy with that. Right, so our old favourite, we need to apply a little glue to the recess for the handle, and this is the handle, and I can see, don't know if you'll see because it's so small, but there we go, that's shaped. So I'm going to turn this way so that I know the flat side is this side, and you can see there the flat side is that side. And I'm going to get a cocktail stick for this because I want to apply that glue a little bit more precisely. So I'm just going to get a tiny bit of glue on the end of the bottle, and I'm going to place it on the cocktail stick, and then I can just place that glue inside there and make sure we've still got that tab the correct way round. I think an easier way to apply this handle, I've done that absolutely fine, but another way to apply that is get a little bit of blue tack and just stick it on the back there, and then you can use it, and then once it's stuck the blue tack will come off. But that's on absolutely fine. And then the next stage, that's how the handle will look when it's on. And the next thing we need to do is the 2 pins on the reverse of the door correspond. Oh, I see, right. So we need to take this panel, and you'll see there's 2 pins there, but you'll also notice that on the panel there's a little square, and that square is going to go around that magnet. So I can see that is now the correct way. So let's do a test fit. That's not quite as simple as it looks. Maybe I haven't lined it up properly, and that will go in, but that's fine, the dry fit's fine. So what we're going to do then is it's telling us to apply 2 pin twist. You may need to shave excess flash from around the magnet using a blade. Once you're happy with the fit, apply a little bit of glue to the 2 holes. So I feel confident enough to do that with the bottle. So there's a tiny dab there and a tiny dab there. Not enough that I can get too much squeeze out, but enough to go into that little hole. And there it is in place. And after about 5 or 10 seconds that should be absolutely perfect, and that won't come off. There's a little tiny gap there, but nothing too significant. And then the next step, we want to apply some super glue down here, and then we're going to pop this door panel in. And I can see from the dry fit that that's absolutely wonderful, except here, but there's obviously something going to go along there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply for the bottle. Again, I'm using super glue gel. If you were using thin super glue, I would strongly recommend that you apply with a cocktail stick. I'm just going to make sure I get some on the little tab on the holes. It looks like I'm trying to apply a lot. The reason for that is I'm actually trying to apply as little as possible, and I'm actually getting to the point where I'm applying so little that there's actually none coming out of the bottle. So of all those attempts to put glue on, about 3/4 of them there was actually no glue coming out at all. Now all of a sudden this door doesn't want to work. Why is that? That's glue. So that's interesting. So I just did a dry fit and it worked absolutely perfect. But now it doesn't. What have I just done wrong then? It's as though I've done it upside down. I just did a dry fit and it was absolutely perfect. Right, let me go back. So the glue is being applied there. The door is coming in this way. And all of a sudden that door doesn't want to fit. Why is that? It is actually the door, isn't it? Look, that door's not fitting. I think maybe I didn't notice it when I did the dry fit. It actually wants to go that way. Or the hinge wants to go that. I think the hinge is round a long way. Look, it's much better that way than that way. I think what's happened is the door panel's now in the way. Right, okay, what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to just bend this a little bit, which it doesn't want to do. Not much, it's a tiny bend on there. That's better, but it's not going flush, and that's because of the position of the hinges. You see it's out a little bit. You see how that's not going in flush? If I take the hinge up, it doesn't go in. There we go. There we go, that's better. Yeah, that's much better. Right. So I think what it is actually that these I'm going to cut it's not a good fit. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these off. It's actually sitting too far up. That's why I'm doing this. Now I am aware that I'm technically using this the wrong way. This is just so bad. See, if I glue that in, that isn't going to close. Right. I think if that goes in there, that will work, but I think this is in the way, so I'm going to have to take this off and rethink what I've done. There we go. Great thing about super glue is that it does take a little while to set. Right. There we go, look, that's gone in absolutely fine. So that tells me that it's this part is too big. So let's do another dry fit, and I think actually this magnet's not helping. So maybe the magnet. So I didn't do a very good dry fit there, did I? I can't decide if I need to take a little bit off the white cabinet or if I need to take some off the red panel. and I think it's the white panel. So if I cut, and you want to take about 1 millimeter off. I had a Dremel, but my Dremel is temporarily out of action, so I can't use that. I don't want to go all the way to the edge. I don't think the edge is actually the problem. I suspect I've not taken enough off. Yeah. So there's not quite enough room in there for the... Right, okay guys, so bear with me 1 sec. I'm going to come back with a little bit of a heavyweight tool. Okay, so that should have been about a millisecond for you, but obviously it was a bit longer for me. What I'm going to do, I do think it's that hinge. There isn't accommodation for that hinge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit off the top there. I'm just going to keep taking a little bit until there's enough taken off. Okay guys, so I've done a little bit of filing and it's certainly improved, but the problem I've got now is the only way I can get this to close is to use clamps. What it really needs, which would be ideal, is this hinge just needs a little bit of a bend round about there. And I don't want to file it too much, because as you can see the amount of filing I've done so far, I'll certainly get away with that. If I do any more filing, what will the appearance be? The only option I can think I've got left is to bend it, and I do have a photo etch bender, so I feel if I bend it with this photo etch bender and I bend it badly, I can put it back together, but it's not going to be easy. It's such a shame that it's come to this, that I have to modify the parts. So I put that in there like that, and then I take... Be very, very careful if you use a photo bender, guys, because what we use to bend with, and this might not even do the job, but we use a razor, but that's not even going to work. So I've got to get something in there. There we go. It also help if I clamp the part down enough. Obviously, if you're dealing with tougher metal, done nothing for it. There you go, I managed to get a slight bend on it, and I hope that that will be enough. I think that's an ever so slight improvement, but not much. The only other thing I can think of is to put this in a vise and then gently tap. Actually, that's stupid of me. Why didn't I do it this way round? As I'm talking about using a vise, yeah, I think that hinge has got a slight bend in it now, but I think it's going to have to, I'm going to have to take the plastic out. You know what, I'm going to leave it there, guys, because I think, isn't there going to be like a magnet somewhere? So I think that that's going to be enough just to be held with a magnet. Okay, so I've had a look at the rest of the instructions. There isn't actually anything to do after this stage. So what I'm going to do is that's going to enable me to clamp this on, because obviously I'll need to give it time to dry. But I'm going to put slightly more glue than I did last time on it, and one clamp there, and let's just hope that I don't get enough squeeze out to clamp it, to glue the clamp. Oops. Okay, that's what happens when you buy cheap clamps. I actually got these clamps from a model store, believe it or not, and these are the first clamps I've had break on me. How interesting is that? Right, there we go. So that is actually that part done, and we have this part left over, But yeah, that's our parts for the next for this stage. So that is stage 24 complete. So I got there in the end. It fits okay. It's not too bad in the end, but again, I don't think I needed to do what I actually did, but it's all done now. It's still a good model. I'm still happy with it. I'm not going to be cancelling it. So onwards and upwards. So guys, I will see you next week when we will be doing the body midsection and water supply panels, and there's going to be a lot of pieces come next week.